Hello again. Recently, in 2023, the world witnessed almost in real time the final moments of the crew of the Ocean Gate's mini-submersible, Titan. The American company specialized in submarine tourism for millionaires eager to explore the Titanic wreckage. On June 18th, the CEO of Ocean Gate, Stockton Rush, the billionaire Hamish Harding, Shahzada and Suleiman Dawood, the Pakistani entrepreneur and his son, and Paul Henry Nargeolet, a former commander of the French Navy considered one of the foremost experts on the Titanic's sinking, dove to their deaths as they submerged with the Titan, which was ill-equipped for such a journey. Despite not being the first incident, this proved to be a costly one. The factor of pressure is one of the leading causes of crushing in the depths, and that's precisely what happened to the mini-submersible. At the surface, at sea level, the atmosphere exerts a pressure of 14.7 psi on our bodies, manageable, considering the light weight of air. However, at a depth of 3,800 meters, the amount of water above a body creates a pressure 400 times greater. This means the Titanic endures a pressure of nearly 6,000 psi, ample force to instantly crush the Titan and its occupants. The Labrador Sea and the vicinity of Newfoundland are regions in the North Atlantic Ocean that have witnessed several serious and mysterious maritime accidents throughout history. Beyond the well-known cases of the Titanic and the Titan, there are other incidents worthy of mention. One such case involves the SS Floresville, a Canadian passenger ship that operated the route between St. John in Newfoundland and New York in the United States. On February 23, 1918, the SS Floresville departed from St. John with 138 people on board. However, it encountered a severe snowstorm that significantly reduced visibility. The ship's captain attempted to navigate around a lighthouse indicating a dangerous reef but inadvertently approached too closely and collided with the rocks. The vessel began sinking rapidly, trapping many passengers in their cabins or sweeping them away in the waves. Only 44 people survived the disaster, rescued by local fishermen. The SS Floresville was considered one of the worst shipwrecks in the history of Newfoundland. When the Titanic was located 70 years after its sinking, divers encountered various objects, from shoes and a tail piano to even a car. However, they found no trace, or shall I say, of humans, so to speak. Well, not even a tooth, nothing. This is due to the fact that the bodies that sank with the ship were rapidly decomposed by currents, weather, and marine animals. Moreover, the depth and pressure of the water also contributed to the destruction of the remains. Therefore, the bodies inside the Titanic disappeared long before it was discovered. However, the same cannot be said for the RMS Lusitania, a passenger ship that operated in the early 20th century, roughly around the time of the Titanic but with less publicized history, perhaps because it wasn't James Cameron's choice. The RMS Lusitania held the blue ribbon and was briefly considered the largest passenger ship in the world until the completion of its sister ship, the Mauretania. Launched in 1906 by the Cunard Line during a period of intense competition for transatlantic trade, it made a total of 202 transatlantic crossings, transporting thousands of people between the United States and Britain. The ship was renowned for its luxury and comfort, featuring a first-class dining room, smoking rooms, a music hall, a reading and writing room, and a Cunard liner that could be opened to give passengers the sensation of sitting outdoors. On May 7, 1915, during World War I, the ship, affectionately known as Lucy, was torpedoed off the Irish coast by the German submarine U-20 commanded by Captain Lieutenant Walter Schweiger. The attack was part of Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare, aiming to sink any ship approaching the British Isles. The torpedo hit the ship's right side, causing a massive explosion and fire. The ship began sinking rapidly, tilting to starboard. About 18 minutes after being hit, the ship disappeared beneath the waves. Of the 1,962 passengers and crew on board, 1,198 people lost their lives in the sinking, including 128 Americans. Many survivors were rescued by fishing boats and Royal Navy ships that arrived at the scene. The sinking caused significant international outcry and indignation in the still neutral United States. The wreckage of the RMS Lusitania was located in 1935 by the treasure hunter John Light, situated about 13 kilometers off the coast of Ireland at a depth of 91 meters. Since then, various divers have explored the wreckage, finding personal items of passengers, historical artifacts, and even munitions that the ship supposedly carried as secret cargo. What's most intriguing is that due to the shorter time underwater compared to the Titanic, several human remains, mostly bones in the process of deterioration, were found on the Lusitania. A truly intriguing and eerie sight, according to the team that arrived first, was that the captain's bones were in the cabin, a sign that he did not abandon his post, let alone his ship. The USS Truxtun and USS Pollux were two ships of the United States Navy that were part of a convoy heading to Iceland during World War II. On February 18, 1942, they separated from the convoy due to a storm and ended up lost off the coast of Newfoundland. They attempted to navigate using the Cape Race lighthouse but collided with two large reefs in the region. The ships broke apart, and many crew members drowned or froze in the waters. Survivors had to climb slippery cliffs and face intense cold until they were rescued by residents of nearby villages. In total, 203 people lost their lives, and 186 were saved. The tragedy marked one of the greatest losses for the United States Navy in Canadian waters. The SS Southern Cross was a British whaling ship operating in the Labrador Sea region. In March 1914, it was returning from a whaling season in Antarctica with 173 men on board but never reached its destination in St. John's. It is believed to have been hit by a snowstorm and sunk in the middle of the ocean, leaving no trace or survivors. The disappearance of the SS Southern Cross is the largest mystery of a ship in the North Atlantic, as no evidence of the ship or its crew has ever been found. The SS Caribou was a Canadian passenger ship that sailed between North Sydney in Nova Scotia and Port aux Basques in Newfoundland. On October 14, 1942, it was torpedoed by a German submarine in the Cabot Strait while carrying 237 people, including civilians and military personnel. The attack was so sudden and violent that the ship sank in just 5 minutes, leaving many without time to board lifeboats or put on life jackets. Only 4 lifeboats managed to be launched, but they faced difficulties staying afloat and keeping warm in the extreme cold. A Canadian escort ship arrived at the scene about 2 hours later, but it was already too late for many. Only 101 people survived the sinking, comprising 46 civilians and 55 military personnel. The sinking of the USS Caribou was the largest maritime disaster in the history of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. For many years, explorers found not only some remains but also objects with the stories of their owners who had since found in the depths of the North Atlantic the ideal place for their eternal rest. Well, the lingering question is, what is it about the North Atlantic that seems to bring so much tragedy? And it's not just due to accidental causes, as assumed in the case of the Titanic, but also because of storms, wars, or simply unexplained disappearances without any plausible explanation. Could it be that the planet has another mysterious zone like the Bermuda Triangle? Or is it all just natural phenomena due to the unpredictable stormy climate of that North Atlantic region? Share your thoughts below. Okay, thank you. A strong hug, and until next time, goodbye.